baby! We're right back into the action for another day of the week! Welcome to the Thursday edition of Chasing That Paper, presented by VegasInsider.com. A little bit of everything going on in the sports world tonight. Thursday night football. We got the World Series. We got some NBA, some NHL, some college football. Check it out right there. That's what it's all about. Let's bring in my guy to show us his guns. Who's bragging about his bicep workout. Ian McMillan, senior editor over at VegasInsider. Oh, he was showing a little bit of skin in our pre-show meeting. Oh, now we are talking now. Now we are talking. You know what you got, Ian? You got the arms of a fullback. And that is a compliment, my friend.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
You're built like a fullback. I think that's fair to say, right?
I mean, nowadays, back in my heyday, I was the guy who I was supposed to be I was the fast and quick guy, not the fullback. But that was about 60 pounds and 10 years ago. So yeah, I'll take fullback now.
Like a bowling ball in there, absolutely. So yeah, Ian, I was prepared to discuss the T-shirt that you wore during our preseason meeting, or pre-show meeting, but you went and threw a sweater on. Tell us a little bit about your sweater here today.
Yeah, this sweater is it's a New York artist. I forget his name. It's actually printed on the back of the sweater. But I get I get compliments all the time wearing this around New York City. He's a well-known New York artist, so people like to comment on it. It's very popular with the ladies as well. So I decided to bring it over to the show. It's a little UFO action. How about that?
Yeah, I'm a big art guy myself, Ian. Now let me ask you, Ian, do you believe in aliens? Have you ever seen a UFO in your life?
I have seen a UFO, and I do believe in aliens. Yeah, I was driving home from the exhibition as a kid, and I saw three flashing lights go from one horizon to the other in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Fact.
I've seen a couple UFOs as well. Okay, and that's enough alien and UFO and art talk. We'll talk about that maybe at the tail end of the program, but we got a lot to get into.
We do.
Thursday night football game tonight. A lot of big Philadelphia versus Houston games this evening. And Thursday night football, we're going to start there. And Ian and I, as we always do, we went into the lab to dissect this Thursday night football game. We dug into the numbers, the game situation for each. And we came out of it with a collab pick. The second ever collab pick in history. There's Ian and I in the lab.
Oh, yeah.
Mixing it up. Collaborating.
Looking at the numbers. Crunching the numbers.
That's
one inch at a time.
I love you, dude. I love you, bro, Montana. I love you, hoes. I love you, brosif huevos.
There's me and Ian.
Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
There we go. I don't know
Great
if we'll
stuff.
use that video ever again, but yeah, there we go. So yeah, we came out with the collab. We are going all in on the Eagles. Take them minus 13.5 over at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, as of this morning. So I'll get us started with this handicap. Take a look at Nick Sirianni in his career. What does he do? He smashes the shit out of bad teams. You go back to the start of last season, a 26-point win over Atlanta, a 36 over Detroit, a 17 over Denver, a 15 over the Jets, a 24 over the Giants. You come into this season, a 17 over Minnesota, a 16 over Washington, a 22 just last week over the Steelers. The point is, they do not play down to the competition. They do not take their foot off the gas. Ian, why do you like the Eagles tonight as well?
Yeah, I hope the Eagles can kind of get back to their roots of running the football. We saw them air it out last week. If they can get back to just running the football, they should run all over Texans team that ranks 31st in opponent yards per carry, allowing an average of 5.6 yards per rush. And one of my favorite stats to look at when handicapping is third down efficiency. You got to stay on the field. You got to move the sticks. The Eagles, fourth and third down efficiency, converting 45.45% of the third down opportunities. Texans all the way down with 30th, third last in the NFL, converting just 31.91% of their third down chances. So I love the Eagles, willing to lay the points of them tonight in a little collab bet.
Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Okay, Ian is also digging into the prop market here. Ian has an algorithm that can correctly predict the outcome of the coin toss. And I believe you like heads tonight, Ian.
I do like heads. You look at it over the last 10 coin tosses, it's landed on heads 9 times, so there's no way that trend is going to reverse tonight. So I'll take heads on the coin flip, but more importantly, I'll take Dameon Pierce. Over 63.5 rushing yards tonight. If there is one way that the Texans can kind of exploit this Eagles defense, it is by running the football, because surprisingly, the Eagles are ranked 29th in opponent yards per carry, giving up 5.1 yards per rush. And heading into tonight, Dameon Pierce is averaging 77 yards per game. That's well above his set total for tonight, and he has already torched weak run defense. Look back when this Texans team played against the Chargers. Dameon Pierce ran for 131 yards, averaged almost 10 yards per carry at 9.36. So if he can do that against the Chargers, I'm afraid he can do it against the Eagles. So I'll take Dameon Pierce and over 63.5 rushing yards. It does kind of work as a hedge too, because if they do keep it close to the Eagles, it will be because they can effectively run the ball. So give me Pierce over 63.5.
All right, there you have it. That's the first Houston-Philadelphia game we'll discuss. The next Houston-Philadelphia game we'll discuss is Game 5 of the World Series. And what a series we have here. You know, what an answer by the Astros. No hitting the Phillies in that madhouse, Citizens Bank ballpark. Anyhow, I expect that Philadelphia to bounce back, at least offensively, in this game tonight. My best bet for Game 5 of the World Series, I'm going to take Phillies first 5 team total over 1.5 runs, coming in at even money. A big part of this bet, of course, it's been well documented. We're fading Justin Verlander. He has a 6.07 ERA in the World Series in his career. In these playoffs, he's been brutal too, a 7.20 ERA. We're seeing the Philly hitters bounce back after a loss in the playoffs. 6, 3, and 7 runs scored in innings 1 through 5. And they're hitting a lot of home runs. 17 home runs in 7 home playoff games. It might just be one swing of the bat for us to go over this one in the first 5 innings. Great value on that one at even money. All right, that's enough talk for Philadelphia-Houston games. Now we move on to the NBA. Light schedule in the NBA, but one pick I like very much. I would encourage each and every one of you watching right now to show a little bit of goddamn respect for the OKC Thunder. I'm going to take them to cover the spread tonight at home versus Denver, coming in at plus 6.5 points. So OKC, they're the best bet in the NBA right now, tied with a few other teams. 6-1 against the spread for the best spread bet in the NBA. Okay, say 3-1 straight up on their home court, 1-3 straight up on the road for Denver. I don't think there's much of a debate here. OKC has the better defense. Points allowed per 100 possessions, 5th versus 25th. Opponent 3-point percentage, 5th versus 23rd. 2nd versus 22nd in opponent turnover percentage. And OKC excels in drip points. Allow me to explain. This is blue-collar basketball at its absolute best. First in points off turnovers, 4th in second chance points, is 4th in points in the paint, 9th in fast break points. Denver is in the bottom half of the league in each of these categories defensively. Quite simply, there is no substitute for hard work, and no one is working harder than the OKC Thunder. Blue-collar basketball at its absolute best. Let's move to the ice, where Ian has a duo of picks. Ian, what's your first bet for the NHL this evening?
Yeah, I'm looking at games involving the 2 New York City teams here. I'm going to start off with the Islanders against the St. Louis Blues, and I like the over in this one. I'm going to take the over 6 minus 105. This New York Islanders team, we're kind of used to them being a defense-first team. That's what we've seen them from them over the past couple of years. That's what got me in trouble with their fan base when I said they were boring to watch, but not the case this year. Playing a much more wide-open style of play. If you look at expected goals against, or if you combine their expected goals for per game and their expected goals against per game, then there should be around 7.1 goals scored per game for them this season. So that is well over their set total in the game tonight against the Blues at 6. Also, Jordan Binnington should be starting for the Blues tonight. He has not been good this season, .882 save percentage. And it is worth noting that there have been at least 6 goals scored in 3 straight games for the Blues here. So I like the over. I think this is the new look New York Islanders team, a lot more wide open than what we're used to seeing. And I don't think the totals have adjusted to that yet. So I'll take over 6.
All right, there we go. Over 6 in that one. My best bet for the NHL. We are off to Ottawa, the nation's capital of Canada, where the Vegas Golden Knights are in town. I'm going to take the Golden Knights to win in regulation, coming in at plus 105. So dig into the analytics for this one. That edge goes to Vegas. 3rd versus 20th in expected goals for percentage. 3rd versus 13th in high danger chances for percentage. And 6th versus 24th in shots for percentage. A big difference in discipline in this game. This is a matchup between the Ottawa Senators, who have the 4th most penalty minutes in the NHL despite only playing 9 games. The 2nd fewest penalty minutes for Vegas, and they've played in 11 games. Expect the Golden Knights to be on the man advantage early and often in this one. Vegas has been lights out between the pipes, both the starter and the backup. It looks like it will be the starter, Logan Thompson, in net tonight. A 173 goals against average and a 938 save percentage. Anton Forsberg will start in net for Ottawa. He's been struggling. 318 goals against average this season, 11 goals allowed in his last 3. Give me the Golden Knights in 60 in Ottawa. Okay, Ian, bring it home for us. Your final pick of the show.
Yeah, I mentioned I'm looking at the 2 New York City teams. The other team I'm looking at here is the New York Rangers. I will take them on the money line. Minus 130 against the Boston Bruins in this spot. Now, my first point, I might be big braining things here, but Linus Ullmark had to come in for relief for Jeremy Swayman in their last game. Their backup goaltender got hurt. So it hasn't been confirmed who's going to start in net for the Bruins tonight, but it's either going to be a fatigued Linus Ullmark or it's going to be their 3rd-string goaltender, Keith Kincaid, who they had to call up. I'll let you know if it's going to be Keith Kincaid. You might want to jump on these odds now before it moves. But regardless, I think we're going to see a not great goaltender performance from the Bruins, and that's going to hurt them because they're taking on a Rangers team who ranks 2nd in high-danger scoring chances this season and 4th in expected goals for per 60 minutes. So no matter who is in net, the Rangers are going to be peppering the net with some high-quality shots. And I think we're going to see a little bit of regression from the Bruins. They're 9-1. They are going to be a good team. They might even win the Atlantic, but they're not going to keep up this rate with a 9-1 record. They're on the road in Madison Square Garden. I will take the Rangers as minus 130 favorites.
I hope Keith Kincaid isn't watching the show. Ian absolutely trashing him, throwing him under the bus. And my Pittsburgh Penguins, Ian, they're not making it easy on me. You know, they had that tough road trip on the West Coast, losing games to Vancouver, Seattle. They come home. They build up a nice lead on the Bruins. They blew that one, a 3-goal lead. Yep. They had a 2-goal lead last night versus Buffalo. They blew that one. They're not making it easy for me. I just ordered a Penguins hat and a Penguins shirt. You can't be seen wearing this stuff. And I keep telling Ian, I was like, I got to get out to see Sidney Crosby play live. They're playing like back-to-back games at Madison Square Garden in March. But it's nights 2 and 3 of March Madness, which ends up with. So I don't know if that's going to work out for my schedule. So looking forward to potentially getting out to New York. So we'll have to choose some other dates potentially for that one. Okay, so that was 7 total bets from Ian and I. If you're looking to tail or fade any of our action tonight, I recommend placing your action over at BetMGM. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Kick off your day of sports betting with the king of sportsbooks. Sign up with BetMGM using bonus code VIBONUS, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. That's VIBONUS, all one word, no spaces, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You must be 21 or older. BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Yeah!
Bang! Bang! It's good!
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Ian, you didn't comment on my... Do you know what the NWO is, Ian?
It's an old wrestling group, I believe, from back in the 90s.
Yeah, one of the greatest factions of all time. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time, Ian?
Booker T. It was Booker T in NWO.
He probably everyone was in the NWO at some point for the most part, so I think he was in a version of the NWO, not the original. I don't know if he was in it when they were in WCW, but they brought it back at one point in the WWE, and Shawn
Yep.
Michaels was in it. I think Booker T was a member of that version of the NWO. They squeezed the
Love
life
Booker T.
out of that. I have. Have you ever been to wrestling live?
No, I have not, and to be honest, I have no interest to be. And it's not for me. I'm not a wrestling guy. Not a wrestling guy.
I grew up on it. I was a hardcore fan growing up on it. Not so much anymore, but I went to it. I went with my brother and two other guys. It was on a Sunday afternoon, and we had front row seats. And I think we were the only people in the whole arena drinking that day. We got absolutely blasted. It was perhaps the funnest sports event I've ever attended. It was an absolute blast. It had to do with the fact that we were sitting right in the front row. So it was a lot of fun. If you are able to do it, I highly recommend it. So I wanted to talk to you, Ian, about some of these spreads we're seeing in the NFL this week. Of course, we have a monster spread in the game tonight where the Eagles are 13.5, 14 at some sports books. Not a BetMGM, though, if you want to get the best number on the Eagles. Check them out. Bills 12.5, Chiefs 12.5. Now, a lot of people see these monster spreads and they just look away. I don't know. Some people have a different strategy. You know, a couple, the Jets at home getting points, and the Texans, of course, tonight. But do you have a specific angle, a specific strategy with these big monster spreads, or is it more of a game per game type of situation?
I do have a strategy, and Joe, both of us, you know this, we're kind of married to the stats here. So I look at the stats if I'm going to determine whether or not I'm going to lay double-digit points. And what I need is the team laying the points to be top 5 in a lot of categories or top 10 in just about everything. And I need their opponent to be in the bottom 5 or bottom 10 in just about everything. So with tonight, the Eagles and the Texans, no matter what stat you look at, Eagles are top 5, if not, or top 10, if not top 5 and everything. Texans, bottom 10, if not bottom 5 and everything. So willing to lay the points in that kind of spot. But I'll give you an example of a game where I wouldn't be, which might surprise people. And that's this Sunday's game between the Bills and the Jets. And I have no interest laying the points with the Bills. I am going to take the Jets in that spot with the points because their defensive numbers are in the top 5 in a lot of cases, or if not in the top 10. So the defensive numbers between the two teams are a lot similar, way too similar for me to be willing to lay as many points as you have to bet on the Bills. So there's an example of one time when I would lay the points and one time where I wouldn't. I need it to be a huge discrepancy in just about every single area if I'm going to lay double-digit points in an NFL game.
Yeah, I like it. You know, you see the situations, you know, sometimes we make fun of, you know, the trap game or the look-ahead spot or the left-down spot. Sometimes I do think that there's something to that where you have, like, the really good team, like the Chiefs or the Bills, a team that's been really good for a while. And then, you know, the Texans or the Jaguars are coming into town. Maybe, you know, mentally you don't get up for that as much as you would if a good team, a competitive team, is coming into town. I have another wrestling story for you, Ian. When I was in grade 8, the WWE once again came to town. And this is the point before like tickets were sold online. You need to go to the actual box office to get the tickets. So they announced that wrestling was coming to town. And I did the thing where you go like hours ahead and you wait in line to get the tickets. And I got up to the window and front row tickets were available, Ian. I had a paper route. And I saved up my money, and me and my little brother and a couple other guys went. And this was like months out when we got the tickets. And, of course, it finally gets here. It's like a kid on Christmas Day. We were so fired up to go. And we get to the event, and we are being little shits, complete and total annoying assholes. We're slapping the wrestlers. We're grabbing the referees, giving them the finger. It got so bad, Ian, that they kicked us out of the event. The manager of the arena came down after speaking to one of the officials with the WWE, and they kicked me and my buddy out. And I was almost in tears because I was so excited for this, but I was being such an asshole that they kicked me out. Anyhow, we end up begging to let us back in, and they say, yeah, you can come back in, but you can't go down to your seats. You have to stand on the concourse. And so we stood and got to watch the final few matches. And at the very end of the event, all of the fans, they jumped over the barricade, and all the fans ran into the ring. There's like 40 people in the ring. So we missed that. And I felt very sad about that.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Don't be an asshole at a wrestling event, or they will kick you out. So that is a story from my life. And
good stuff.
Hope to make up for that someday. Have you ever been kicked out of a sporting event?
No, I never have. No, I was not a little shit like you were when you were a kid. I was a good kid, so no, I would definitely not.
Well, you become a little shit as a man. You're banned from pretty much every strip club in Montreal. I know that.
Yep. That's a fact. That is a fact.
True, yeah. Kicked out of plenty. Okay, guys, if you love what we do here at Vegas Insider, you are going to want to check out the brand new Vegas Insider app. We've got up-to-date, easy-to-navigate odds for every major sport. We have all our latest shows, best bet videos and podcasts, props, trends, features, news, all on the Vegas Insider app. Download the Vegas Insider app right now on Apple and Android. Bet better with the Vegas Insider app. Indeed. Okay, let's look at some viewer picks here. Picks from the CTP crew. I don't know if they gave us. I think Nathan, I think he gave us a winner yesterday. But our guy Matty Puppy Sports is weighing in here. He likes Dallas Goedert over 46.5 receiving yards. He has hit this over in 5 of 7 games this season. Jags are one of the worst teams in the league against tight ends. Hashtag back into the action. Hashtag chasing that paper. Hashtag if you can read this, you're too close. Matty Puppy. All right, what do we have next, Tito? Ronnie Durante. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's a pretty cool name. Okay, this is a futures bet. I rarely bet futures, but I'm about to make a big bet on the 49ers to win the Super Bowl 14-1. I watched that Rams game on Sunday, and they are friggin' talented. I'm betting them to win the NFC Championship. I'll hedge the Super Bowl against the Bills 14-1. I said it a couple days ago, guys. The 49ers cannot win 4 playoff games in a row. It's a different version of this team that shows up every week. Everyone has such a short memory with the 49ers. How did they look the week before against Kansas City? How did they look the week before that against the Atlanta Falcons? How did they look against the Denver Broncos? How did they look against the Chicago Bears?
I disagree
with this team, Ronnie. I know you and I would disagree on that. Yeah, it's not going to happen for San Francisco. You got such a short memory, real recency bias with that team. And they're on the bye, so everyone loves them. Yeah, they're going to get into the playoffs. The NFC is not very talented. But, Ronnie, I disagree with you. Ian agrees with you. We'll see how that one plays out. What do we have next, Tito? Here's our guy. He gave us a winner yesterday on the Leafs and Flyers over. So we give him another chance here. Nathan Schreckengost, a fellow miserable Penguins fan, just like myself. So he likes the under in this Carolina-Tampa Bay game, set at 6.5. The under is 8-1 in the last 9 regular season matchups between these teams, an average of just 4.7 goals per game. Carolina, second in expected goals allowed. Vasilevsky has a strong 2.17 career goals against average versus Carolina. Carolina ranks second in shots allowed, while Tampa Bay is 9th. Ian, I kind of like the Hurricanes as a dog in that one. I don't think I'm going to bet it, but did you look at that game?
I did not look too deep into that game, but just based off my memory of looking at the stats over the recent weeks, yeah, I would like the Hurricanes. I mean, I think the Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. So, yeah, I do like the Hurricanes as a dog in that spot, especially against a Lightning team that's kind of been underperforming through the first few weeks. So, yeah, I would like Hurricanes there.
Indeed. Okay, one last one to look at here. Captain Axe's locks. He has submitted before. And I like this pick. The contrarian, I think. Jalen Hurts under 41.5 rushing yards. He's gone under this in 4 of his last 5 games. Hurts started the season with 57 and 90 rushing yards, but his usage in the run game has tampered down. Eagles want to keep him safe and healthy for the long haul. Give me the under! Best of luck, Joe. Yeah, Captain Axe, we wish you kind of good luck, because we are on the Eagles. But hopefully, yeah, he could stay under that. But if he throws for 400 yards, I'll be happy. I will take that. Okay, winding right down here. 23 minutes in. You got something going on there, Ian? I don't know. Didn't know you had the camera on you potentially.
Yeah, no, just my cat is just being crazy right now. I don't know if her meows are coming through the microphone, but I'm trying to get her to calm down. She's not listening to me. I apologize.
Have you been feeding her?
I have been, yes. Got a little Eli Manning bobblehead there in the background. I don't know if you noticed that. That's pretty cool.
Eli Manning? Why Eli Manning?
I went to the Giants game when they were playing the Falcons last year, and the Falcons won on the last second field goal. There you go.
There's my bobblehead. The Undertaker.
I got to fix the lighting in here, but
pretty cool. Yeah.
Eli Manning action. How about that?
Yeah. You wear jogging pants when you work from home, Ian, or?
Yeah, jogging sweatpants is what I wear, or jogging shorts is what I wear.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're an animal if you're just home by yourself wearing jeans all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't trust anyone who does that.
Who's doing that? Psychopaths. Okay, Ian, we're wrapping up here. What do you have out there? What can we look forward to from you for your content here leading into Week 9?
Yes, the Week 9 episode of the Bacon Bets podcast is live. And my best bet for all 13 NFL Week 9 games. That's so we're back in the profit after a couple bad weeks. So we're back in the profit for betting on every single NFL game. So that's live. And also daily bet slip today at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then an NFL pregame show with Matt Verderam on the Stacking the Box YouTube channel on Sunday at 12 p.m. So check that out as well.
Okay, guys, don't forget to check out today's Handicapper Heat Check presented by VegasInsider.com. I almost forgot about it again, and producer Tito yelling in my ear. Today we recognize NFL percent leader Scott Pritchard. Scott is on an impressive 18-4 NFL win streak and has a 23-8 regular season record. Scott's on fire. Save 33% on Scott's Thursday Night Football total winner by clicking on the link in the description below. The discount will be applied during checkout. That's your Handicapper Heat Check. Stay hot, bettors. All right, there we go, guys. If you're watching on YouTube right now, give us a like. Give us a sub. We thank you very much for watching the program today. Good luck with your bets tonight, unless you are fading us. And as always, keep chasing that paper. Woo!